Hey everyone, it's Sean here, your guide to Warcraft, and today I'm going to be showing you how to obtain the Bound Shadehound mount. This is one of the new secret mounts added in patch 9.0.5 and is one of the only few mounts that is actually usable in the Maw at the moment. Now, to begin this, you need to make sure that you are appreciated reputation with Venari, the broker vendor inside of the Maw, which is basically another word for just make sure you are exalted with Venari, and if you are, she will sell you a Stygia Dowser for 1500 Stygia. So step 1, make sure that you have maxed out your rep. If not, it's going to be a while before you can get to work on this. Next step, you need to head to Domination Keep inside of Perdition Hold. It's the big elite area, very scary. And those coordinates, well, exactly where I'm standing, you will find a grapple point. The grapple-like cable is one of the other upgrades Venari sells you, so you do want to make sure that you have at least purchased that as well. There is going to be a lot of grapple points needed to get to where you need to be to get this mount. Next up, you want to go to the left, keep following over the little bridge here, and then grapple up to this big green cloud. And you should be able to use this action button to phase yourself into becoming a ghost, and a chest will appear with 6 runes. Now, this puzzle will require you to match the 6 runes above this chest to their corresponding runes up on these spikes, which go all the way around the platform. So if you use the grapple point as your starting location, this is pillar 1, and then clockwise going around pillar 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you can click any 2 runes at a time and the runes will swap location. And you do also have limited attempts according to Wowhead. If you fail enough times, you will not be able to attempt this puzzle for 2 hours. So make sure that you fully understand what you're trying to achieve before you just go randomly clicking. Once you get them matching, you will be able to open the chest, it will port you back down, and you will receive a new item in your inventory. Keep hold of that because you're going to need that later. Then we're going to be heading back to Venari, and you want to buy the partial Rune Codex for another 2000 Stygia. Now, when you click on this, this is an item that will basically describe it having pages missing. So now you're going to be going on a hunt to collect the pages, which requires you to just find 3 locations in the Maw. The first one is down in the Beast Warrens at these coordinates. Night Fae members, you may recognize this cave from your Covenant campaign. And at the very back left of this cave, you should find the Codex page of forging. It literally just is a page on the ground, but it does have like the sparkling effect, so you know that it's there to pick it up. So there we go, that is page number 1. The second page is actually located back in Perdition Hold, or Domination Keep, back in the elite area at these coordinates. So near to where we grappled, east of where we grappled originally, there is a platform with this potential rare spawn. Because the rare spawn's up, I don't want to pull it, I'm going to just shimmy around the edge of the platform. And behind the second pillar, there is the second page, which should be the page of souls. So now we're 2 out of 3. And the final one is at the Tremaculum. This is actually where Anduin was being held in the intro to the Maw. So at those coordinates, you'll find the teleport pad, which will take you up to the top level. And right at the very back will be the final page of binding. Now you have all 3 pages, your codex will transform and it will become epic and you can fully read it, and this is how people were able to figure out the next part of the puzzle. Now we're going back to Domination Keep. If you remember the initial grapple point at the beginning of the video, we're going to be taking that grapple again and we're going to be going up. We're going to be taking the very same left, but instead of going onto that platform with the green fog, we're going to be grappling a little bit more, and this will start to slowly feel like an Arkham Batman game. I actually quite enjoy it. So on the left-hand side up there, there's actually 2 different grapple points that you can take. This one's closer, so I'm just going to take this one for now. You can then grapple across to the second one. Again, this one should be available from where you were standing, so you can just actually go straight to using that grapple point. Then if you look up, you'll have another grapple point, so we're slowly working our way up this structure, and it will take you here. Now, in the middle of the room, there will be a platform. If you look up, you will see another grapple point, and this is the highest point that we can go to. And at the very top of this should be our anvil, and this is where the Stygia crafting will come into effect, and the grindy side of getting this mount will begin, sadly. So if you click the anvil, you can see exactly what we need. You actually need to create this armored husk. Now you need some tools and 20 Stygia bars. What's a Stygia bar, you may be wondering? Now, just on the anvil here, the second option is a Stygia bar, and you need 10 Stygia dust and 10 Stygia silver a bar, which means you need 200 of each. Now, you get these from these green floating orbs, which are scattered all around the moor, and these will actually flag up on your minimap as Stygia nexuses, so they are actually quite easy to find. And then you use your Stygia dowser that you bought at the very beginning of the video, and you will get resources slowly over some time. Fast forward to the very next day, after several hours of running around the moor and grinding 200 of each, we now are going to be moving on to the next part of what we need, which is the Soul Forger's tools. Now, you want to head to Zaval's Cauldron here at these coordinates, where the potential rare Soul Forger Rovus will spawn just at the top of those steps. Once you eventually get him to spawn, he will 100% drop you the Soul Forger's tools. This is the grindiest part of getting this mount, aside from actually getting exalted with Venari in the first place. It's getting 200 of each. Now, once you have all those materials, you can return to the anvil and craft 20 Stygia bars, and then 20 Stygia bars combined with the tools from the rare, we can now create the armored husk, which is a big part of what you're going to need to create the bound Shadehound mount. Good news is, you're done with the anvil now. We don't have to go back up here. This area is done. Now we need to head to the River of Souls that extends through the center of the moor. So that big blue lake of souls, we want to be heading there. And running up and down, I believe from south to north, so you probably want to start north and run down, you will find a wolf spirit. Now, I believe it did ping on my minimap when I actually got in range, so it shouldn't be too hard to locate. Once you find it, just click it, and then it will turn into a willing wolf soul, and it will be deposited into your inventory like so. Once we have all of these items, we can now move on to the final stage, which is at these coordinates just south of Venari's Refuge. We're going to clear this platform, and right in front of you should be the Binding Altar. If you have the Armored Husk and the Wolf Soul in your bags, you should be able to click the altar, and it will combine them into the Bound Shadehound. Now, this will begin a quest and give you 2 items. One will begin a quest and the other is a usable item. Before you click on your usable item, you want to find your Crumbling Steel. Now, this is one of the original items we got at the beginning that I said we need to keep hold of. It's going to be very important. If you click this, you'll get a combination of 4 different runes on the page. This is important. You can screenshot this and make it a bit easier, or you can memorize those runes, because once you click your Shadehound in your bags, you will have the option to use the runes on your action bar in the correct order. If you do it correctly, your mount will be awarded to you. Your quest will be complete, and there you go, the Bound Shadehound. If you get the order wrong, each button does have a 60-second cooldown, so you will potentially be running around for quite a while if you're not sure on the order of runes. So it's probably best to just open your item, maybe take a screenshot if you're not good at memorizing those 4, and then just using it like so. And then, like I said, so once you've done all those steps correctly, it is a bit of a grind. You've got to finish Venari, you've got to get 200 of each resource. You'll finally get the Bound Shadehound. Aside from those grindy bits, it's probably the most fun I've actually had in the moor doing all of these steps. It was really fun. That's all for this video. I hope it helped. Thank you very much for watching.